Hi friends! Welcome back to the Griffin's Nest. This is Miss Mithil tuning in, albeit a little late. I had a little bit of trouble starting this morning. You ever wake up in the morning just feeling a little slow, sluggish? Usually you're getting pretty pumped up and excited to go tackle the day. But some days you just want to take your time getting up, or it's hard to get out of bed. This is normal. Sometimes your body just needs the extra rest. This is why it's important to listen to your mind and your body together when they say that you're tired and sleepy, and to understand when you've done a lot in a day. Miss Mithil did a lot yesterday, a lot of stuff. But what's important is we are here now, we've gotten things started, and in the future I am going to try to be more careful about how much I take in a day and do throughout the day, because I want to be able to be here for you. Now, what's the subject we've been talking about this week? Do you remember? What were we talking about? Shapes. That's right. Today we're going to talk about something a little more advanced, which means a little bit bigger. What happens when you bring a shape from a piece of paper to real life? It gains dimension, or another shape with another name. If you remember on Monday, we made this sand art moon. And this moon is a circle, right? We went over the different phases, how it can become a half moon when a shadow covers it, or it can become a crescent moon when something covers it. Well, let me tell you now that it's all dried. Oh, can you hear that? It definitely feels kind of like a sandy rock. Gotta be kind of careful because I don't want to get salt everywhere, but feeling it makes it feel kind of lumpy and grainy. Those are the words I'm using to describe it. And I can't wait to hang that up. I'll probably put it in the background for a little while. Let's see. So what do we want to do next? What comes up next after our introduction? The schedule. That's right. Whoops. Gotta get rid of those check marks. All right. Here are the 3 things that we tend to go over throughout the day. The first thing on our list, story. The second thing, fun. Then the third thing, tale, which means our folk tale. We sure are coming a long way with our folk tale book. Before you know it, we're going to be done with that book. Miss Mithril has been looking into getting a new book so we can start new adventures and folk tales. I can't wait. But first things first. Oh wait, it's not time for that yet. Silly me. But we do want to take that marker up there. I'm going to put it right here next to the word story. And today's story I think you'll enjoy. It's a bit of a story that you can listen to right before you lull off to sleep, before nap time or bedtime. The thought of its colors and its content makes me kind of want to drift off. Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't sleeping. All right, so after schedule time, we have time. Are you ready for time? So this might be a little interesting. Who knows, maybe we'll actually use the 11 today in the red. So as we recall, the big hour is indicated by the little red hand. And we have the big number right here. And that's the number 10. Right now it is 10:38. Oh my goodness, we are behind schedule. So we're going to do our 5 times tables. Ready? Starting from the 1. Whoops, again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So that 35 is going to go right over here, and we just do boop, boop, boop to indicate 38. So where that big hand is right now, between the 7 and the 8, that's about what time it is now. 10:38. I'm going to write that 38 down for our digital section. Alrighty, there we go. 10:38. The 10 is in red, while the 38 is in blue. Alrighty, so we're done with time. We're going to go ahead and get started with the story, but Miss Mithril is going to do something very special. We're going to play some nice music to go along with the book. Now, if you want to, go ahead and grab yourself a nearby plushie or animal. I got my little Aboom. and cuddle with them. Maybe draw up a nice blanket. I got my nice mermaid's tail. And get comfy because this story is going to be relaxing. I introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, Steam Train, Dream Train by Sherry Dusky Rinker and Tom Lichtenheld, or Lichtenheld. I hope I'm pronouncing that okay. We're going to see all sorts of shapes in this book. See if you can follow along and find them with me. Through the darkness, clickety-clack, coming closer down the track. Hold your breath so you can hear. Puffing, chuffing, drawing near. A whistle blares out in the night. A mighty engine, a wondrous sight. The smokestack puffs, the big wheels grind, the trusty tenders close behind. Cling, clang, the bells rings out on top. Hissing steam, brakes squeal, then stop. Do you see any shapes? Several circles, huh? And the cars in the back can be large, boxish rectangles. Let's see more. The driver signals to the crew. Each worker knows just what to do. Quick, before it gets too late. Start a load up, all the freight. Everything will soon be stowed. A train car matched to every load. Do you see something round? Yes, a round knob right here. Looks like a ball. The crew slides back the boxcar doors and tumbles in to start their chores. They whirl, twirl, cartwheel, and jump, but cargo stowed without a bump. Things that rock and roll and spin are juggled all safely in. Do you see a circle here? Two of them, huh? A bowling ball and a play ball. The freight is loaded as they play. They work and bounce the night away. Building blocks, erector sets, bikes and kites and model jets. Whoa, look at all those blocks. Those are definitely some shapes there. A lot like what we're going to be seeing later. The boxcars made to safely haul almost anything at all. Oh, and do you see this down here? That's a kite. They're usually in the shape of a diamond. The hopper's top is open wide, so cargo can be poured inside. The crew hops to it, one and all, and they get to work to have a ball. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen so many balls in your life? Some are round, but some are oblong or oval shaped, like a football. Then with a bounce, a pounce, a leap, three boys jump in and fall asleep. Tankers lined up in a row are getting filled with paints to go. Purple, yellow, green, and blue, a color convoy coming through. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The reefer car, snug and cold, its chili box can safely hold frozen treats for every stop, like a rolling ice cream shop. The train car's packed and the crew sluts back and chills out with a midnight snack. 10 hard workers lend a hand to fill the gondolas with sand. Wow, that's a huge sandbox. Oh, another shape. It's a sand box. Sand for castles, moats, and more. Sand for tunnels, sand galore. Stacked up on the auto track, 6 race cars for a private track. Rainbow colors, flames, and stripes, shiny engines, chromy pipes. The auto track will gently keep these fast, fast cars all fast asleep. Oh, do you have a favorite one? Ms. Mithil really likes that number 6 orange one right there. Second would have to be the one above it, the blue one with the rainbow stripes. The well car carries giant beasts, munching on enormous feasts. Brachiosaurus likes the view, while T-Rex gets a bone to chew. The flatbed cars are rolling beds. The weary crew can rest their heads. And settled in and tucked in tight, their work is finished for tonight. There's only one that's awake, the owl that's been watching up late. The red caboose is last in line. From the lookout, all looks fine. The freight and crew are tucked away. The next stop is another day. A hiss, a jolt, a shift and a sway. Now the journey's underway. The train's departing. Car by car, the headlight fades into the stars. Puffing, chuffing, out of sight. All the cars that we went over are all lined up there in order. Steam train, dream train. Shh. Good night. It was really a little boy's toy train all along. Whoops. Oh, you got all tilted, didn't you? Let's fix you up. Do you think that he was still playing with the train set while the story was going? It's great to use your imaginations with things that you don't see in the page or the words. Like when we listen to our folk tales. Do you ever stop and wonder yourself why this person did this or why did that happen? Sometimes the folk tales don't explain. It leaves room for our imaginations to work. That's why I really love sharing them with you. Really get your brain thinking. And the more you think, the more powerful your brain is. Well, without further ado, and I know I still got the music going, so cheerful and bumpy right now, I thought I'd keep it going for just a minute more while I explain to you what we're going to be learning about next. Now, as you know, when we have a circle that we can touch, whoops, not like this, not on the paper, but like a round object, like our round containers, or a ball, we call it a sphere. Can you say sphere? Sphere. So the next time you are out and you say, "Hey mommy, I have a ball," tell her, "Look at my sphere." Now what happens when you take a square off the paper? Oh, you're gonna love this. It becomes one of two things you can call it. You can call it a box, like the boxes you get in the mail, or boxes you get with the cake inside, or we use boxes to carry and take care of all sorts of things. Oh, you know what? Huh. Auntie's on his way. Oh God, we must have gotten their attention. Hi friends. Oh, I definitely want to help you out with this plot. Yeah, the cube. The cube. Yeah. You can call the box the cube. Like an ice cube. Little ice cubes that are in your freezer. They're just little pieces of ice congealed together to look like a cube or a box. And you were going to talk about the next thing that you have as a cube. Yes, I was. She's going to talk about the next thing that's a cube in her house. I am. It's going to be so cool. You're going to love it. Well, do you want to get it for me? Nah, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. All right. Well, then, you want to have a staring contest with our friends while I get it? Yeah. Don't blink. I win. There it is, there it is, there it is. This is my question block. You see the symbol over the front? It's a block that has something inside, but you don't know what's inside. That's why that symbol's on the front. When you see a question mark like this, it means there's something mysterious inside. Mysterious. Woo. Alright, give him a chunk. Let me see what happens. Okay? Can you get behind it? Yes, you can. Alright, watch this. You're not gonna know what's in the box. You're not gonna know. Alright, when I touch the bottom, it lights up. This is one of my lamps that is in my gaming studio. Isn't that super neat? I even have this sticker off over the side, so I can hang it up on the wall if I want to. But I usually just put it up on the desk or something. Keep it lit up when I'm in the dark. It makes a great little night light. It's so pretty too. And did you hear that sound it made? It makes that sound because there's usually a coin that comes out. So when you hear the sound, you know someone's hit the block, like this. I did it. I did it again. Auntie? Yeah. This is a show about all sorts of shapes, not just the block. I mean, yeah, I could sit here and do this all day. Well, what's next? Well, we've talked about a sphere and the block or cube. Oh man, I guess it really has 3 names. But this one is a block. Okay, that one's a block. But you also have box and cube. Let's see if we can focus on one word. Well, we use cube a lot. Alright? Can you say the word cube? Cube. Cuba. No, not Cuba. Cube. Oh yeah, that's right. Cuba is a place. Ha! Cube. So, the box is the cube. Oh wait, let me go help Miss Smith get the next item. The next item that we tend to bring off the paper and turn into something else is a triangle. You know what a triangle looks like, right? It's got a point up at the top, goes down, over, back up again to look like a point. Believe it or not, we kind of made a 3-dimensional triangle a while back when we were making the unicorn horn. Do you remember that? Yes, the unicorn's horn is actually a triangle with more depth. This one is called a cone. Can you say cone? Excellent. We're going to learn more about cones in just a minute. You're going to see all sorts of great examples of them by my friend. It's going to be great. There's also another word for it, a pyramid. And they look a little different, but they still involve, they both were triangles at one point. This right here, the casing around this cute little ornament I have, you might recognize it. It might look like something from Halloween, but the casing around it is a pyramid. Do you see how it's got 3 sides, no matter which way you turn it? And at the bottom, it has the square that holds it all together. Pretty cool, huh? So, pyramid. That's a long word. Can you say pyramid? Pyramid. Can you say cone? Cone. Everybody say pyramid. Pyramid. Everybody say cone. Cone. Pyramid. Pyramid. Cone. Cone. Pyramid. Cone. Pyramid. Cone. Pyramid cone. Or cone pyramid. Look, my pyramid's wearing cone. Excellent. All right, hang tight and let's get on with the next part. You getting those checky fingers out for me? We've moved on from our story, and we kind of already started the fun a little bit, didn't we? But the actual treat segment that we have today is about to begin. Let me check off the story. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and check. Done. Also, I got some new pieces that came in. So soon, we're not going to have this white magnet anymore. We're going to have a different shape that you can see much better to go along our words. It's going to be great. All right. So sit tight, and in just a few minutes, you are going to watch a very short video about cones, pyramids, and spheres like we've just been talking about from my friend at Homework Pop. All right, see you in just a minute. Maybe go get something to drink. Have a nice stretch. Feel that energy flowing. Let's get it going. See you in a little bit.
Better. Our second 3D shape is the cone. The cone is a really cool shape with a circle as the base or the bottom, and it all comes up to one point called a vertex. Here's an example of a cone I think we all love, the ice cream cone. If it doesn't have any ice cream inside and you flipped it upside down, you'd be able to see the circle base, and it all comes up to one point called the vertex. Here are two cones, a red cone and a blue cone. And you can see both cones have that circle base and it all comes up to a vertex. What wonderful cones. Have you seen these before? They're traffic cones. Here are many cones. I didn't count all of them, but there's a lot, and they're wonderful, wonderful cones. So that's our second 3D shape, the cone, a wonderful cone with a great circle base. It all comes up to one point called the vertex. How awesome is that? Our third 3D shape is the pyramid. I love the pyramid. The pyramid's great. It comes up to one point just like the cone, except the base is a square and the sides, instead of being smooth, they are triangles. Okay, like these are awesome! These are so cool. The pyramids of Egypt. You see that they have the triangle sides, and the bottoms of these pyramids are square. They're awesome examples of the pyramid. This is a pretty cool pyramid. It's a decoration that you plug into the wall, but it's a great example of what a pyramid looks like. The bottom or the base is square, and there's the triangles on the sides. How cool is this? Here's another pyramid, and it's made of glass. There are so many decorations and things around, maybe even your house, that are shaped like a pyramid because
Pretty cool, huh? That man that you heard speaking is an educator, just like Miss Mithrow. He covers all sorts of different subjects, And when I saw that he went over 3D shapes, like what we've been talking about, I fell in love with his segments. So, if you're curious to learn more about him or see more of that video, all you have to do is go to YouTube and look up Homeschool Pop. That's Homeschool Pop. And Mom and Dad, if you're listening, if you would like a resource on how to get there and that link to learn more, I will be providing it on this page. So don't worry. Or it might be in the description down below, because I have this going on 2 sources. So you'll either see it in the description or you will be seeing it on the page itself. Either way, due credit will be given to show you guys more of Homework Pop, and you can take a look and see if he can provide you some resources that you're needing to learn more about awesome things out there in the world. They are endless and they cover a lot of different things that you guys might be curious about. You want to learn about the stars? He talks about the stars. You want to learn about music? There are different kinds of music he's got available for you. Anyway, that's the thing about educators. Once we get going teaching one thing, it always teaches us how to learn about other things so that we can teach you. And that's just the way we are. I guess is how I'm going to finish that. All right, friends. So that was a short, fun segment. Unless you wanted to start the items I had as part of the fun. I had fun with that. I hope you did too. Nonetheless, it is done now. So get out that checky fingers for me. Ready? We're going to do it down and up on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and check. And that means it is tail time. Now let's see. When we come back on Friday, I plan to have a little bit of a dance for you to help you remember your shapes. We're going to be using our fingers, kind of like pencils, in the air to draw our shapes. So for example, if we wanted to draw a circle, we would go at the top, go around, and back again. That would be a circle. But I'm going to have a little song to go with it, and I'm going to encourage you to dance. I unfortunately don't have a whole lot of space to dance in this room, so I won't be able to dance with you. But I'd like to share those moves with you, and then you can move your own furniture or go outside and sing the song to yourself and do your own dance. And heck, even from there, you don't have to do it exactly the same way that I teach you. You can do it your own way. Be you. That's what's important. All right. So, one thing to remember about the shapes we've been talking about today is when we're looking at them on a paper, they are flat. They are flat. So this is a flat shape. It's one that you can't really touch except on the paper. You can't hold it except on the paper. Like I'm holding the rectangle that is the paper that holds the circle. Look, I'm holding the moon. And when we have it come off the paper, it becomes fat. So flat, fat, flat, fat. My question block is fat. It's just a big fat square. Ooh. Ironic. Hey. Oh, wasn't plugged in all the way. Oh, I love that thing. Probably more than Auntie, but don't tell them. All right, so let's move on to today's story. Oh, where are you? I know you're right here somewhere. There you are. Alrighty. Uh-oh, again. Get back up there. Oh my gosh, I like having my back nice and snug on these things. Alright, here we go. Today's story is called Sumley's Broken Stick. This person's got a broken stick. We're almost to the... Oh, this is our very last story. I thought I had more than this. Ooh. Well, I might have to dig through the house for a little while until we can find another folktale book. Don't worry, I'll find something. Sumley's Broken Stick. Many, many years ago in the city of Roet was named Muangtong, which means City of Gold. Not far from Muangtong was the Chi River. Most of the men of the city fished in the river every day. Early each morning, as the sun was rising, they would pick up their nets and baskets and walk down the banks of the river. All day long they would throw their nets into the water. Each time they brought them out, and the nets would be filled with fish. Late in the afternoon they would fold up their nets, put the fish into the baskets, and prepare to return home. A basket of fish is very heavy, but the fishermen could carry 2 at a time. They would hang their baskets on either end of a long pole, which they balanced across one shoulder. They had to carry their baskets for several miles because Muangtong was not on the banks of the river. One of the best fishermen was named Sum Li. Nearly every day, old Sum Li caught more fish than he could put into his baskets, so he gave the extra fish to the other men who had not caught as many fish as he had. Sum Li was not only generous, but he was also very wise. He always knew the very best places to fish. People used to ask him, "Where are you fishing today, Sum Li?" When he told them, they knew that it was the place where the most fish would be caught that day. No one ever knew how old Sum Li learned about the best places for fishing. Nor could he tell them. He used to say, "I don't know how to tell you. When I wake up in the morning, I say to myself, well, I guess I'll fish at this place or at that place today. And that's where I go." After many years, however, Sum Li's luck changed. He did not carry as many fish as before, and finally he caught none at all. Sum Li became very poor. His clothes were old and ragged, and he had nothing to eat, and even his fish nets were no longer very good. But Sum Li was too proud to ask for help. He always told himself, "One of these days my luck will change." But his luck did not change, and after many months, Sum Li came to believe there was an evil spirit in the river. When he threw his net, he could see the fish in the water, and he pulled his net out of the water, he could see that they were teeming with fish. But by the time he got his net onto the shore, all the fish were gone. He did not know what to do. He thought, "I must be doing something wrong when I pull the net out of the water." But he could not figure out what he was doing wrong, for he had been fishing in exactly the same way for nearly 50 years. That is why he decided there must be an evil spirit in the water. There was simply no other way to explain it. This did not solve his problem, for what could Sum Li, an old man, do to get rid of the evil spirit? Finally, Sum Li went to a wise man who lived in Muangtong, and who was very famous for his knowledge of what to do with the troublesome spirits. The wise man listened to Sum Li's story, and then he said, "Yes, I think you are right. There must be a spirit living in the river." Then, after thinking for several moments, the wise man said, "The spirit living in the river eats only fresh, living fish. It steals fish from your net because it knows you can find more fish than anyone else in this area. You see, it is very hungry, so it must eat a lot of fish. It is also very lazy. That is why it steals from you rather than catching its own fish." "That's the strangest thing I ever heard," Sum Li replied. "But it must be as you say, for I cannot see the fish in my net before I pull it out of the river. What can I do? Whenever I fish, the spirit is there too. If I do not catch some fish soon, I will starve to death." See, here's a picture of the people when they would fish with their nets, putting it over their shoulders and taking it home. The wise man laughed. "Sum Li, you must not give up so early. There are ways you can deceive the spirit. If I am right, and I usually am, the spirit is afraid of fire." When Sum Li went to the Chi River the next day, he had a plan to deceive the spirit. Before he had thrown his net into the river, he took some leaves from a banana tree on a bank. Banana leaves are several feet long, usually a foot or 2 wide. Sum Li folded the leaves until they were the shape of little rafts. Hear that? Then he put some dry leaves in each of his rafts, and he put his net into the water and set the rafts on fire to put them into the water. The green banana leaves would not burn for some time, and in the meantime he pulled out his net out of the water. There were more fish in it than ever before. Old Sumley could hardly believe his eyes. The wise man was right. The spirit had been tricked. Sumley was so happy he did not know what to do. He hardly noticed how the day had passed. Each time he put his net into the water, he made some more rafts and set them on fire. Each time he pulled his net out of the water, it filled with more fish than ever before. By night he had many more fish that he could squeeze into his 2 baskets, but he kept them all. He thought, "I need all these fresh fish for myself. My old net has so many holes in it that I cannot repair it again. I will buy a new one. My clothes are terrible. I will buy new ones. I have not any rice to eat for several weeks. I will have rice tonight. I have to chop up my hair for firewood. I need a new one for my house. Within a week I will have enough money for all my fish to buy these things." So Sumley kept all of his fish and stuffed them into his baskets until they were nearly bursting. The loaded baskets were so heavy that whenever Sumley took a step, the long pole on which he hung his baskets bent down almost to the ground. And even though he walked very slowly, the pole bounced up and down on his shoulder, which made it even harder to carry his fish. Sumley was so interested in getting his fish to Muangtong, where he would sell them, that he had not noticed that the sun was setting. It was difficult to see, so it was no wonder that he did not notice a little hole in the road. Sumley stepped into the hole. He did not fall, but when the long pole by which he was carrying the basket bobbed up from the jolt as Sumley tripped, and it came down with even more spring than before, and it broke. "Now what am I going to do?" thought Sumley. "I cannot carry my fish without a pole." He thought that there was a village beside the road. "I cannot buy a pole in that village. They are only sold in Muangtong. I cannot ask someone to lend me their pole, for when they see all my fish they will want some of them. So if I leave my baskets here and go into Muangtong to buy a pole, all of my fish will be stolen while I'm gone. Besides, I have no money right now to buy anything. What can I do?" Old Sumley began to feel sorry for himself. On this day of his luck, why should such a thing happen to him? Maybe he was meant to die after all. Maybe a worse spirit was plaguing him now. Then Sumley looked at his stick laying on the ground, broken into 2 pieces. He looked at it and he wondered why it had to break at this very time. Why couldn't it have broken on some other day? He was so angry with the stick that he could not think. He could barely breathe. Finally he shouted furiously, "Oh, you awful broken stick!" All this time the people who lived in the village had been eating their suppers. No one had seen Sumley walk down the road toward their house. No one had seen him stumble. No one had seen the stick break. But all of them heard him shout. They thought, "It sounds like old man Sumley. Maybe he had good luck today," and they ran out to the road. But there was no one on the road. Suddenly his fish baskets and his net were completely gone. Only the broken stick lay in the dust of the road. Since nothing was there but the broken stick, the villagers decided the stick itself must have shouted, "Broken stick!" Of course, no one in the village had ever heard of a talking stick before, but some of the people decided that since the stick had spoken, it must be a specially holy stick. Perhaps a god had made this stick speak. So they took the stick to the temple. The temple in the village, and they changed the name of the village to Broken Stick, or in Thai, Ban Gan Hook. Now you may be wondering what happened to old Sumley and to his fish, his baskets, and his net. No one ever saw him again, and to this day many people in the village of Broken Stick wonder what became of him. They have lots of different ideas, but no one quite agrees with anyone else. What do you think? Sure is a mystery. Oh, can't think of a moral to this story. Did you learn anything from it? Well, I guess if I had to really think of it myself, that there's just some things in this world that you don't know how they happened or why they happened or where they happened. There was a lot of mysterious things that happened to old Sumley. One day he was really good at catching fish. How did he know where to fish? He seemed to not know himself. Why did the stick break? Well, wait, I take that back. We know that one. Where did he go after the stick broke? Whatever became of his house? And where he did live? Lots of things I'm wondering now. Oh, that's just the way that some folk tales are. Just a good story to make you just stop and think and wonder questions like what we were talking about before. But did you notice that there was the talk of shapes in the story? He was breaking up the big banana leaves, which banana leaves are really, really big. If you've ever seen a banana tree, you should look it up sometime. Big leaves, really wide. And he was folding them up to look like rafts to trick the demon, or trick the evil spirit. Well, friends, it is the end of our episode today. Let's check out the time. Have ourselves one more time. Oh, goodness me. It is, after all, after 11. So we are using the red marker today. You see that number 10 down there at the bottom? It's now about to become a 1. I'm going to erase the 0 to make it a 1. And I am erasing the blue, turn it from a 38 to a 15. So watch what happens. That little red hand is going to move to the 11. You see where it's on the 10? We're just going to move it next door to its neighbor. Whoop. And then the long hand's going to come all the way over here to the 3. And that makes 11:15 a.m. All right. One last thing to do on our show. Can you get out your checky fingers for me one more time? And this will wrap up our day. We had our story time. We had our fun talking about shapes. And we just did our folktale. Check. I hope you have a great rest of your day, friends. Let me think if I can come up with a challenge for you today. Today, why not see if you can try to say the word sphere, or cube, or cone, or pyramid, at least once today. Be sure to leave me a comment at some point if you'd like. Let me know what you have found in your house. What kind of spheres do you have? Round circles? Do you have any cubes? Any boxes? How about cones? What cones do you have in your house that look like that triangle that is fat? I will see you guys later. In the meantime, be safe, be happy, be healthy. And remember, you are a superhero to me. See you next time.